This is video 14. In the last video, I went over an email that I originally sent to my court-appointed attorney, who was Leilani Adams, during my custody case. We went over, I think, 20 lies, 18, 20 lies that were never addressed in court. She never corrected anybody there. But when I made that video, after I read that, I forgot the last part of the email. I didn't read that part. So I'm going to go ahead and read that now. And then we'll go ahead and move on to talking about the Guardian Ad Litem, Teresa Berry, that was appointed to my children. And we'll talk about that situation too. Hopefully this one will be a little shorter. So to hear the first part of this email, first, go back and watch the last video, which was video 13 on Facebook, on YouTube. I don't remember what I titled it on YouTube. It was something about when your attorney does nothing. But I'll link all that. I'll link the YouTube page and stuff below too. So that was the first part of the email. I introduced myself. We went over lies. But this is the part of the email that in the last video I got sidetracked. And I never got back to finish reading the email. So I'm going to do that now. So I have introduced myself, the lies have been told, and this is how this continues. This is what I'm writing to her. This is what she received. As soon as CPS was involved, I was no longer allowed any contact with my children. CPS said I could receive supervised visitation, which never happened, as Chris and Jennifer Brooks both refused, and CPS was informed several times of their refusal and did absolutely nothing to remedy the situation whatsoever. It's been 4 months now since I was ripped away from my own children. No contact at all. These are just a few of the lies that I've been made aware of via court documents. As far as my mental health is concerned, I'm a certified life coach, counselor, and therapist, and my mental health is just fine. My credentials are as follows: basic behavioral therapy certification, accredited neuroplasticity certification, adult psychopharmacology certification, trauma support specialist certification, accredited group life coaching certification, level 2 stress management diploma, anger management and conflict resolution certification, therapy techniques for anxiety, phobias, and OCD certification, acceptance and commitment therapy certification, advanced therapeutic communication skills certification, cognitive behavioral therapy practitioner certification, accredited professional addiction counselor certification, master neuroscience and neuroanatomy certification, psychodynamic psychology certification, solution-based counseling practitioner certification, accredited online coaching and therapy certification, diploma in modern applied psychology, medical psychology diseases diagnosis and treatment certification, accredited PTSD counseling certification, advanced psychodynamic psychotherapy diploma, clinical trauma specialist, accredited stress and anxiety management certified, accredited dialectical behavior therapy certification, advanced level depression and counseling diploma, professional grief and bereavement counseling diploma, accredited advanced level psychology, accredited rational emotive behavioral therapy certification, accredited psychology of alcohol and drug addiction certification, talk therapy certification, foundations of social psychology diploma, managing pharmacotherapy certification, fundamentals of medical neuroscience diploma. I feel like I'm missing a few in there, but that's what I wrote. I said, please feel free to look at my Facebook page to get to know me better. I run 2 mental health groups and a coaching page also. I'll leave a list of links below. Thank you so much for your time. I know this is a mess, and I truly appreciate you and everything you're doing to help me, as I've already been failed by both the law and CPS so far. Please email me back at your earliest convenience, or you can reach me by phone I put my phone number. And then I left links to my Facebook, the Mental Health VB Instagram, Facebook Mental Health VB. I left a link to one of the coaching review sites I mentioned on, and I just left a few other links. That was the rest of the email that I sent to my lawyer. none of what was in that email ever came up in court. Not all my, I have over 50 certifications in different modalities of psychotherapy, psychology, and even the more physical aspect when it comes to a master certification in neuroanatomy. I have done so much work to complete all those courses and get those certifications. It took years and lots of time. And none of that. After all the lies and everything, none of the lies were addressed. I don't know why Leilani Adams did not address any of the lies about me in court. I don't know why even my vocational preference and the work that I was doing in the community for years was never once brought up in court. It seems very much to me, and I don't know this to be true. What I'm saying right now, I don't know to be true. But it's a negligence so blatant that it seems like it can't just be negligence. It seems intentional that these things were never brought up. And like I said in the last video, I don't know if Leilani Adams, my court-appointed attorney, did not bring any of this up because maybe she has a social friendship relationship with Jenna Naderman, who was the attorney that Josh's grandma hired from him on the other side, and she's throwing her a win by stealing my kid's mom. I don't know. I can't explain, even as a non-lawyer, how someone who graduated law school dropped this in such a huge monumental way. I don't understand that yet. Maybe there will be more answers to that later. I don't know. This is what I know. So that was the rest of the email. Like I said, the beginning of the email where we go over all the lies and I explain them to you. That's the last video. That's video 13. Let's talk about the Guardian Ad Litem. For those of you who do not know what a Guardian Ad Litem is, it is also an attorney appointed by the courts to represent your child in a custody case. And they're supposed to be unbiased. It's supposed to be the best interest of the child. It is their duty to do an investigation on both parents, a thorough investigation on both parents to be able to make the decision, and to be able to be a voice for your children, right? That is supposed to be totally separate from any kind of issues that you may have with the other party. They're supposed to investigate both sides. Here's the bombshell. Teresa Berry was who was appointed to my children, and she never talked to me once. I believe I tried to reach out to her a couple of times. I feel like I called an office at one point because I Googled her name that was on, that I found on the court papers, and I feel like I sent an email too. I'm not 100% sure the email, because that was when everything was happening, and I just don't remember. I don't want to say that I did that concretely when I don't know for sure. But I feel like I remember doing those things. Everybody had my information. I was living in the RV, yeah, so I didn't have a house address. But everybody, CPS, everybody in that courtroom had my emails. There were more than one. My main email especially. They had my phone number. There's no reason. It wasn't like they couldn't get a hold of me. That wasn't what happened. She never spoke to me once. Never. I never got any calls back. I just never heard from her. I didn't even know if that Guardian Ad Litem I didn't know what she looked like, because when we were in the courts, a lot of times things were happening that it was hard to kind of tell who was who. And I wasn't really, I was very misguided, or maybe not guided at all by my attorney. I don't know. She never spoke one word to me. There were no emails, there were no phone calls, there were no visits, there was nothing. The only information that she had to work with was what she was hearing from them, the people doing this to me and my children, and from my children, which were echoes of what the adults were saying. I know this. As far as being an unbiased opinion, it is impossible to have an unbiased opinion with only biased information, which is why it's so important. It is so important for a guardian ad litem to do a deep investigation on both sides of these, on both parents when it comes to custody. So important. And this is why when it doesn't happen, this is what happens. This is the outcome. We're here 2 years later. Not one word. And she was supposedly testifying on my strengths as a mother when she had never spoken one word to me. She did not know me. How could she speak on my strengths of a mother when she had never had one conversation with me? Not one word. On the last court date, after Leilani Adams had coerced me into signing over the rights to my children, and the court was done and we were all in the hallway, I approached her. I saw who she was. I approached her very kindly, very quietly. I had tears streaming down my face. I had just found out new stuff that day from the parental capacity evaluation that I was like, wait, what? Where is this even come? Like, I can't explain those emotions. Like, once again, I don't think there are words to be able to explain them. But by this time, I knew that this wasn't right. This didn't work out in any kind of right kind of way. And I was still processing it a lot. But I walked up to her in the hallways, in the court hallway, tears running down my face, just confused, lost, broken, not understanding, like in shock, I guess. And I said, Miss Barry, and she goes, yes. And I said, hi, I'm Jamie Grigolite. First time I'd ever spoken to this woman. And she goes, yes. I said, hi, I'm Jamie Grigolite. I'm Ramona and Deacon's mom. And she said, yes. And as tears are, this is how, I can't imagine being this cold to someone as she was to me. I can't imagine it, treating someone this way. I said, you never reached out to me. Like, you never called me. I never heard from you. I don't understand. Can I ask you why? And with zero emotion in her face, she looked dead in my eyes. A mother who is broken, crying, being very quiet, being very polite, but clearly devastated. She looked me in my eyes, the woman representing my children, and goes, I don't have to explain myself to you, and walked away. And that was it. And I died right there. I felt like I died right there. I knew I had lost all control. I knew I had lost all power. I mean, I can't even explain. There are no words to be able to justify those emotions. There's not words strong enough. I didn't do anything. They were telling me I couldn't see my babies. What? I don't understand. Like, anyways, so I made a post about her on the courthouse kidnapping page. And a woman posted underneath of it, one of my other Facebook friends I've never met, and I didn't know before this. She just saw this and reached out to me with a story about how Teresa Berry was also appointed to her custody case, and she had to actually get Teresa Berry removed for the same thing. There are predators in our court system, and they call themselves lawyers. Not all the lawyers, of course. I do believe there are good lawyers. I do believe that. It just happened to be that 3 bad ones got thrown in the same case with me, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous for our children. It's dangerous in our community. These people have ethics to uphold that they do not. And what is there to say about that? A lot, I feel like, but it's so traumatic that parents are afraid. They reach out to me and they're afraid to speak out. And they're starting to see me speak out. And I feel like it's giving people, other alienated parents, confidence to do the same and find their voice and fight for their kids. I think that's awesome. Fight for your kids, yes. Always. If you got a baby, fight for your baby. Always, every day, even if you still have your baby, love them, appreciate them, and always be ready to stand up and fight for them, because you're the only one that's going to fight for them. You know, it's your job, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. This is not okay at all, and I'm really glad this video is a little shorter, because I feel horrible taking up everybody's time. But once again, like, thank you so much for listening. And I'm going to keep making these. The next one, we're going to talk about the parental capacity evaluation, Dr. Tuesday Smith, and we're going to talk about grooming. And the parental capacity evaluation will be sooner. The grooming one might take a couple of days, because I haven't so much prepared for these videos. I'm just kind of telling a story right now. Like, I go into it knowing what I'm going to say, knowing, that I need to tell the truth, and they kind of just go. So just thank you so much. I'm going to link the YouTube channel below. So if you're just coming in this now, you can go back and look at the 13 videos before here to be caught up. Thank you for helping me be strong. And thank you for helping me find my voice again. And thank you for being gentle with me. And so I am grateful for all of the beauty that's around, and people who are kind, and it makes the bullies and the lies a little bit easier to deal with. You are important. If you're saying nice things, not just to me, but anybody, you are important in this world. Keep doing it. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know if I'll upload the other one today. It might be a little bit, but keep everybody posted. Thank you so much.